Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another deck profile. It's been a little while since I've done one of my own deck profiles, but this is going to be a Gohan aggro deck that I've been really enjoying lately and testing. It's like pure smash on the gas aggro, so if you are a fan of that type of strategy, it's a little bit more glass cannon-y in terms of you can't play the best defense. You know, it's not like Storm where it was perfectly well-rounded and can play defense, play offense, play mid-range, play everything. This is more of a pure aggro deck that definitely just wants to kill the opponent by like turn 3. So if you like the type of deck, this is for you. And also, I'm going to try and teach you guys a thing or two about deck building in this video, so we'll get into that. But before we do, guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with all the awesome Dragon Ball Super content that I post here. If you're looking for a Dragon Ball Super community to get in touch with, check out the Discord in the description below. Excellent group of people. If you want to get caught up on some competitive content, if you want to learn more about deck building, which I'm going to talk about a little bit in this video, make sure to check out the Patreon in the description below. It really helps the channel out and gets you all that information. And finally, guys, if you want to build this deck or buy any cards in this deck, make sure to use my TCG player link in the description below. Really helps the channel out a lot. With that being said, we'll get into this. So I feel like people really talked about the Sun Gohan leader a lot when Set 7 first dropped. The big thing was the Triple Flash, because anytime a new red Saiyan leader comes out, everyone kind of just falls back to Triple Flash, see if it can be relevant. And this leader does turn on Triple Flash inherently with its own effects, so we'll give it a quick read. So, activate main once per turn, you burst 2 cards, you choose 1 card in your life, you add it to your hand, and then if your opponent has 5 or more life, deal 1 damage to your opponent. So I remember when this was spoiled, everyone thought the burn damage effect was going to be like absolutely insane, like broken, but I feel like it's very fair, especially because of the 5 or more life clause. And this just really helps an aggro deck. Like, if you think about it, this is almost just like a leader that has double strike on the front, but one of the damages is pretty much force. So think about that like set 1 Goku leader. This just has like a little bit of self-awakening, and it has like almost an inherent double strike, but one of the damages you're pretty much forced to take. So the way I like to do that is I'll always like in the first like 2 turns, I'll always attack with leader first, and then I'll take the life to burn them. But the only way I won't do that is if they're at that 5 life, because if they're at 5 life, obviously if I attack and they take it, my burn effect is dead. You can still activate the activate main to take a life, even if your opponent has less than 5 life. But just so you know, like kind of the best sequencing to do that, in the early game, you attack first so they have less cards to defend themselves with. But if they are at 5 life already, you want to burn first so that you can just start pressuring them at below 4 life, because a lot of players, especially control decks, they don't like to be at below 4 life against aggro. So on the awakened side, you flip and you draw 2 cards, which is something we don't see too much, but it works well for this leader. So auto sparking 5, when this card attacks, draw 1. So that sparking is really important. It's why you only see 1 Oberon in the deck, but we'll talk about that. Auto once per turn, when one of your battle cards activates Alliance, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 30,000 power or less and KO it. So in this particular build, there's no Alliance. You can, if you were going to play Alliance, I would probably play the more pure Gohan deck that with the like Goten and Trunks that are meant for this leader. I wouldn't really play Alliance outside of that, because you want to be able to play the Sun Gohan, Sun Goten card, and then the Goku that restands it for 2 swings. In this build, we're kind of divulging away from that. Activate main once per turn, sparking 5. Again, you need sparking for most of these effects. Choose 3 cards in your hand, place them in the drop area. Choose all of your red and green battle cards and this card, and they all gain plus 10,000 power for duration of the turn. So that's actually going to be really important for this deck, because we do play a decent amount of 10k combos and some extra cards. So you might think that like, oh, you can't untap energy, you don't have Senzu Bean, you might be a little bit starved for energy, but once you're able to activate your leader's basically ultimate effect, you can get rid of any dead cards in your hand and basically convert them into combo power, which is pretty efficient in my opinion. So we'll get through this. So now we have 2 Wilderness Training Sun Gohan. Now this might be a little bit weird because it's just a Gohan that draws 1. You know, energy boosted Majin Buu isn't really good anymore. But we do play a Gohan and Son Goku and Piccolo budding friendship package. So I'll talk about this package first. We have 2 Wilderness Training Sun Gohan, sorry, and then we have the Tenacious Spirit Sun Gohan. So this is a 6 Gohan package, and there's more green Gohans. Oh, and also there's also new 5 Power Sun Gohan, but we're not really always going to alliance that, but you can in a pinch. So realistically, we do have 10 Gohans, and we have Son Goku budding friendship. So what this guy does is he is alliance, so I guess you can trigger the backside, but usually this guy will be activated on your unawakened side. So he has alliance red green, and when you activate that alliance, if you tap a Gohan, he gains a crit and draws 2 cards. So this is how we're gaining most of our advantage in the deck. Now this is weak to a few negates, to afterimage and shocking death ball, so you're probably not going to go for this against green and red strategies, but against blue and yellow strategies, this thing is pretty much free reign. Just it's going to be free advantage, and we have other things to deal with green and and red decks, so keep that in mind. But now this is where I want to go to the deck building part. So ideally, if this is your play, you want to open Son Goku Budding Friendship, and you want to open Tenacious Gohan or the Wilderness Training Gohan. Again, we don't really want to alliance Newfound Power too often, so we're going to kind of ignore that for now. So I did a Patreon article about this last week. This is called the Hyper Geometric Calculator. So basically what this allows us to do is it tells us what our percentages of opening a Gohan are when we play, you know, X number of copies. So I'm going to go over this real quick, how to use this. So our population size is going to be the count of our deck, which in the Dragon Ball Super constructed format is always going to be 50. Number of successes in the population is going to be how many copies of each card you play. So for this example, we're playing 6 Gohans that we want to open with that Goku Piccolo card, right? The sample size is going to be our hand, which is 6. And then the number of successes in the population is going to be 1, because we want to open at least 1 in our hand. So we have, again, deck size, we have number of targets in the deck, then we have the hand size, which is the sample size, and then we have number of successes in the sample. So if we calculate, it's going to spit out a bunch of fractions, a bunch of decimals, I guess, that you can convert to fractions or convert to to percentages. So the hypergeometric probability of opening 1 Gohan, if there are 6 in the deck and we draw 6 cards, is 41%. Now, if you go to 7 copies in deck, you get to 42%. If you go to 8 copies in deck, you're still at 42%. This is just math that I do all the time. But you also have other ranges here too. So for example, if you look at X being greater than or equal to 1, which is the bottom cumulative property, that's going to show you it's about 55%. So you have a pretty good shot, or I guess round up to 56%. So you have a pretty decent shot of opening multiple of those Gohans. So 6 is a pretty good number. If you only played 4 Gohans that you want to open, you only would see, I think, like a 36%, something like that off the top of my head. But you do also have the Newfound Power Son Gohans in a pinch. So like if you've attacked with it multiple times and you don't want to take any more life, you could like alliance it for that Son Goku Piccolo thing, and you know, not use it for critting yourself or taking your own life. Just all things to consider. Basically what I'm saying is you have more copies of Gohan if you need it, but that 6 copies gives you a good shot of drawing. We'll go through the rest of the deck. Only 2 after images, because in aggro decks, I really feel like you only need like 2 to 3 negates. Your main focus isn't going to be playing defense. More so it's going to be, you know, defending battle cards once in a while with like after image sparking effect, and since your leader bursts, sets it up pretty nicely. I also didn't want to play too many extra cards because we do play the 1 Planet M2. Sometimes blockers can be a pain for this deck, and also Android 8 if you're playing against Skillless, so I wanted to have that there. Intensifying Power Trunks, Newfound Power Son Gohan, and Saiyan Kaba. Those are our 1-drop attack lineup. Hitting them with crit in turn 1 and 2 is excellent, and then Saiyan Kaba can come in and sneak games. Hidden Power E Supreme Kai. This guy is our double strike of the deck. He gives us an additional finisher. Also, he's playable, you know, you can hard cast him, or you can play him off chain attack and then use your leader ulti to boost him if you need to go for game with like a single strike. He's also able to be boosted by Fearless Pan. So we've got our 4 super combos, pretty standard. The 3 burst attacks on Gohans and 3 Fearless Pans, that's going to go hand in hand with our chain attack Trunks. So yeah, I mean, chain attack has a few good targets to bring out, the best ones being burst attack and Fearless Pan. There's no familial bonds in this deck, and that's done intentionally. 1, just to like reduce the number of extra cards in the deck. 2, we do have green cards in the deck, so it's not going to always synergize well with what we're trying to do. And 3, in this particular build, there's only like really 1 good card you would bring back off of that, which is Fearless Pan. Like burst attack off of familial bonds isn't the best unless you have a low hand count, but really in that situation, burst attack's probably not going to save you all that much anyway. The one thing about burst attack is, though, when you do activate your leader's ultimate effect to pitch 3, a lot of the times you'll be at that 4-card hand and you'll be able to resolve burst attack and draw 2 more cards, which is really, really clutch. Then we have Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta Acrobatic Warrior paired with 3 Resonant Explosion SSB Gogeta. So this is like one of the ideal turn 3 plays to finish your opponent off. So you have a few ways to like curve out the deck. Turn 1, you always want to hit like one of your 1-drop attackers, whether it's Kaba, whether it's Trunks, or Newfound Power Son Gohan. Turn 2, chain attack into burst attack is really good. You also have like different arrival options. You also have Son Goku and Piccolo Budding Friendship. But by turn 3, you either want to like have a double strike option in your hand with the Hidden Power E Supreme Kai and like a Resonant Gogeta, and then if you have the Gogeta in hand, you'd want to have the Acrobatic Warrior, just because Acrobatic Warrior is a free summon when you do play the Gogeta. And if you can manage it, having the Scientist Fu in your hand is very helpful. The reason we don't play more Scientist Fu and more Hidden Power E Supreme Kai is because they are 10k combos. We don't want to play too many. And we do have Fearless Pan, which is our other turn 3 play. in order to boost our entire board and go in for game. So those are some of the ways you can curve out the deck. You can either use like each energy independently on turn 3, so like one, like I said, one for double strike, one for Gogeta, one for Scientist Fu, or you can just hard cast Fearless Pan and go in hopefully with an established board. And then the final card in the deck, guys, Super Saiyan God, Energy of the Gods, Goku. If your opponent has 2 or more battle cards in play, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 2. And then Sparking 3 if you have, when you play this card, draw 1 if you have 3 or more in your drop area. So a little bit of draw power. Another decent chain attack target, not the best one by any means, but it is another green energy. And a 1-drop 15k attacker is nothing to laugh at when your opponent is wide on the board. Helps you clear their board or just go for game. So overall, guys, this is a deck. It's a red-green good stuff kind of deck. Not really focused on counter plays, not focused on Denial of Hope or Vegeta the Cruel, but it's just, you know, smash on the gas, aggro. Let me know what you guys think about the deck in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Any comments too, anything you guys think would make the deck better, definitely open to hearing that. But again, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.